Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Seller Club Podcast. Drop that beat. Hello.
Hey, that was my line. Hello. That was my
Yeah,
line.
you said that just like Glenn.
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to steal it so that way he'll say something else.
Oh,
Well,
man.
you know, multiple people have told me it's hard to tell you guys apart sometimes. So you just made it a lot worse.
That's because we've been, I guess, podcasting or recording for what?
Yeah.
How many years now, Glenn?
Oh man, doing the Wednesday shows has been
Set
5
since
years?
At least
2017.
one
No.
lifetime. At least
Yeah.
one.
Well, I
A
would
long
say
time, a
I
long
would say
time.
my whole eBay career.
Oh, okay, so
Put it
there
that
we go.
way.
Yeah,
Like
that's,
almost 8 years.
yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, it's been a
So-
long time already.
And then I guess I just copy Glenn's voice. That's
Just
what
start
it is.
sounding
Yeah.
the same, looking the same. You know, that's what they say about like when people get married after a while, you just start looking, and then your animals
Yeah.
look like you too. Is
Yeah,
that true?
right.
No, I
think it can be.
it is true,
funny.
and I've read more about it. It's not more like physically you guys are look. It's like your mannerisms. Like you
sometimes.
start like mirroring each other, like the way you guys smirk, the way you guys smile, and like and it's like kind of like that. What I forgot what it is. It's like that mirror syndrome or something like that. Like you emulate the people that you like the most and you hang out the most. So
I know,
It's
like,
true,
being
so-
married to John for so long,
Maybe.
there were times where I was like, I'm growing out my hair. And he's like, well, I'm going to grow out my hair. And I'm like, no, don't copy me. But also, it's cool. Like, I like that he had long hair, but it was frustrating because his hair grows way faster than mine.
I feel like when you guys had your
Yeah,
undercut,
right. I have, like, a
right,
side
when
shape.
John
Well,
had
yeah,
an
and I've had that
undercut,
for, like, a
yeah.
decade, so.
I don't know who
I don't know
copied who
either.
on that one.
Technically, I probably copied him, but
Oh,
I've
yeah.
kept
Happened.
mine. That's been consistent for a decade for me, but.
That's true.
True,
Because I
true.
see photos with John. I was like, wait, that's
Yeah,
like Anna's
his hair at one time was longer than my hair has ever been, and I'm jealous, frankly. I'm also jealous of Glenn's sick Metallica
So-
shirt. You guys can't see it, but he's wearing a really cool Metallica shirt. So
Oh yeah.
Just for
It's kind of
vibes.
falling apart though. It's like a mix between vintage and
just
not.
thrashed.
It's
Vintage
just-
and not wearing
Yeah.
and wearing it too much. Yeah,
That's cool. Though.
a little
It's a
mix.
thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about today, which there was some trending topics on around the interwebs on reselling that I wanted to get Kenny's and Anna's opinion on these things. So before we start though,
Yeah, go ahead.
eBay. We got to talk eBay talk. Where are our numbers? How much have we been listing? How much have we been selling? What are some of the updates? Kenny, you want to go first? You have a little smirk. So.
When does he not?
Oh, because I have a lot of questions for you with your eBay too. 'Cause,
Oh man, just great.
but this week, the last 3 days, kind of like eBay kind of cooled off. But I think that's because we haven't listed a lot the last 3 days. But also like a big milestone that we just hit. We just I don't even remember when was the last time. It's been that long that we hit $400,000 dollars listed
Snap.
inventory.
That
on
is a
eBay.
lot.
So that is a lot. That is it's not full capacity, but it is definitely like we're at a point where if we're not organized, we're shooting ourselves on the foot because it's gonna be a hard time fulfilling and finding it. But we are definitely expecting the kind of like that challenge of having, basically we've almost doubled our inventory in the last 3 months. So that is definitely a lot of change. But one thing that we have done is we've been optimizing the SKU system, the having unique numbers for each product. And it's been, we've been shipping a lot the last, probably month or two, and we haven't lost an item.
Very
I
nice,
have a
very
question
nice.
for you.
So it's been good.
I don't have too many things in my store relatively that are multiple quantity. So you've got, like you said, or what you just crossed 400,000 listed value. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm curious if you're willing to share how many listings that represents and how many items it represents, because
Yeah.
they're two different counts.
So yeah, currently 2754 listings, but 4194
Holy moly.
quantity. But that's only the ones
Right.
that is showing. That's
Right.
not
However
including
many you
back
have
stock,
listed
because
for your quantity. Holy multiple
Yeah,
quantity,
'cause, like,
Batman.
when-
That is like crazy.
yeah, it's it is when you look at it, right, when they say like 2700 listings, it's like, oh, okay, but like technically I think we have like 6,000 items, only because we hold, like, like one of the strategy that I adopted with Glenn's strategy, and whoever's listening to this, I think
Just
this is a
blaming
really
Glenn
good
for it, it's
strategy, because like the mentality of the strategy is like there's no 5 of the same items that would
Yeah.
sell the same day. So for example, like if I have a size 9, P6000 shoe, and I have 7 of them, it doesn't really benefit me, besides knowing the true count, of adding 7 quantity, because those 7 is not gonna sell in one day. We know that, because I'm not giving it away. I'm not, I'm not trying to lowball and undercut everybody. I'm priced fairly within the market. So what we have done historically is we only put 3 maximum quantity per item, per listing. And then what we would do is we would just put on the SKU how much we have left. That way, if those 2 or 3 sold the same day, we could just restock or refill it. So that's kind of like our strategy, because you're causing an urgency for the people that are watching that listing. I would be less likely to be, urgent about buying this product if this guy has 10 of them. Unless it's a very hot item like a Kobe or a Jordan 1, you would want to put all of that there, because then, it would show how many has sold. But also, the solds will show there, because I could show like I only have 3 listings, but the solds would show 10 solds already. So it would help, that certain listing. It would definitely rank better. So
in your P6000
that's
example, you would have one listing
Mm-hmm.
that was quantity 3, but in your SKU it would say 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever one sold, it would be like
that means
quantity
I have
2,
10
and
total.
you change the SKU to
Mm-hmm.
6, or you'd refill it to
Yeah.
3 and change the SKU to match it.
So that's kind of like the housekeeping that we have to do, but also, like, that's just kind of like, I think it's kind of like the major benefit of it is you actually have to look at your listings. Like I like for stuff like this, I'm not a fan of the set it and forget it kind of thing, because market change on pricing on these sneakers, it could get flooded. So like it makes me, kind of like makes me go into the sold listings and be like, hey, how many size 9 are actually have been selling the last 90 days, or how many am I competing? Because there could be an opportunity of me to buy more, but I'm like, wait, I have 10 deep on this and it's not really selling as much, so I should hold off on that size and prioritize the other size. So that was kind of a long-winded answer.
But you're getting constant sales daily, pretty good. Everything's been
solid. We're green month to month still. I'm surprised. We're deep in February. So slowdown is not real.
It's not summer.
Slowdown is not real, as long as they're listing.
That's what I'm saying. It's
The
snowdown.
snow down.
Snowdown is not real.
No, I think when there's snow down, people are
it's
at
not
home
real.
inside the warm indoors shopping on their computers or their phones.
That's true. They're
especially on
shopping
mobile.
more. And nobody wants to go to
No.
shop, right? When it's like negative 10 degrees and stuff like that,
Sure.
snowing and icy.
Yeah.
No. So they rather like wait 2-3 days and get.
Well,
their
that's
package.
interesting. I think it's always interesting to think about like the listing count versus the kind of quantity count versus the actual count, right? Because that quantity count is what you're making available, but your listings are like that's
Yeah.
the amount of times a buyer can find you, right? Like, yeah, so it's
Can
good
see
to
it.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
be
yeah.
able to reconcile all three of those numbers. But anyways, thanks for going down that little path with me.
Yeah. Well, let's go to you, Anna. What's your, knowing that you've always had quantities, unique items. So what's that ratio for you for the listed
It's
and
about
quantity?
1,000 different. So my quantity or my listings right now are right
Okay.
about 6,200, and my quantity is right about 7,200, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it's about 1,000
So that's
difference. Yeah.
I thought
But as far as my eBay store, we are about 2/3 of the way through February as we're recording this, and I've already made as much as I made in January in gross sales. So I've got another third of this month to go, so that's really good. I've also been listing a lot, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. But it has been really good. I also realized I've been like, sourcing and purging some of my inventory and doing kind of these inventory related things here in the first 6 weeks of the year. And I totally forgot to do my sell similar ritual for my stuff that was considered stagnant over 90 days old. And I realized it like maybe last week at some point. Oh, I probably should have been doing that like the second week of January. And it just totally escaped my mind because I was focused on other things. So I went through and did that process for everything that was over 90 days old. And a lot of that stuff has also started selling again. So that was a good little lift for my store as well.
And well, the good thing is that we still have another. Well, this is a short month, and you're already doing
it is a
way
short
better than
month.
last
Yeah.
month. So that's a good.
Although, is this a leap year?
Yeah,
you
so
guys?
that's really good.
That's how far ahead I've looked. No, it's not. It's not.
I don't even check.
We only have 28 days. That was going to be so exciting.
Okay, 28 days. 28 days. And what about I guess like daily sales have been consistent. Any days without any sales, or any low?
I haven't.
Today has been kind of low.
You
but...
made fun
Yeah.
of my low sales last week, so I'm not. Gonna
Oh
say
yeah, because it
anything.
was still.
I haven't had
Domination,
any
so-
0 sales days. I have had 3 days in a row tied for my highest sales day in terms of quantity and dollar amount. I've had my highest sales day this month, like of the year so far during February.
Put it this way: the goal is to be a 4-figure daily
Yeah,
seller.
I love that.
I'm gonna put that in
Exactly.
my bio.
You gotta put that in your
Exactly.
bio.
My
4-figure
Daily.
seller
In
daily.
parentheses.
bio.
That's hilarious.
Definitely doable.
No. I think that would be cuter than 7-figure. Oh no. What was that? We saw it.
Inspiring.
Aspiring.
Aspiring.
7-figure seller.
that's
I'm
funny.
like, that is so funny.
Maybe one day. Maybe
Keep
one day.
aspiring, and you
Might
might
as
get
well
there.
put aspiring
Yeah.
business owner there or
Right.
something
Yeah.
like that. But let's turn the tables. How about you, Glenn? You've had some help now. It's been what, 2 weeks?
think
Maybe
3.
3. Yeah, I think
3
like 3.
weeks. Right.
Yeah.
So where are you at on your listings count? Since we were doing listings count, what's your listing total and your quantity?
Well, the funny thing is we don't even remember what the numbers were last time. We
We
keep
don't.
saying,
We
like,
don't. We don't. We just start over every episode.
Yeah, we gotta.
We gotta
All right,
see
we'll
who's
go
paying
back
attention.
one of these episodes.
Besides
and-
us, we're clearly not,
Yeah,
but
okay,
someone
that's true.
is.
Yeah, somebody's gonna DM us and be
That
like,
is-
bro, like your listing
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
gone
the
up.
exact
Yeah.
kind of obscure factoid that I would remember as a podcast listener. Like if I was driving and listening to this, I would totally remember it.
Hey, be like, that guy said 550
Right.
and he's still 550 a week later.
But
So right now I am at quantity 693.
Oh, almost
Total is listed value at 70.
how many listings is that?
Okay.
629.
Okay, you
Oh,
definitely
you got
have.
up.
Yeah,
got
you
up.
were in
you
the
were in the
fives.
fives. You were in the
I
fives.
agree.
You're in the fives.
Oh, okay.
And that's like what, a 20% increase at least? Yeah.
That's 20% jump, and you've been selling. I'm assuming too. So
Yeah. I think
So, What's your what's your month to month? Are you probably like 100% green now or something like that?
Yeah, it's like a ridiculous number since I wasn't really doing a whole lot. Yeah, last 31 days is up 600%.
Oh,
That's why, because I haven't done much.
Yo,
so.
yo, if you were not Hustler Hacks, some of this content creator would screenshot that and be like, let me show you how I 600x my business in
True.
30 days. Buy this course right now.
Exactly.
Dude, we should run a
You're like,
campaign
here you
like
go,
that.
just do
and then
nothing,
we should just tell them the truth.
and then do something after that.
Yeah, just like we all get them all together, right? They all buy the course and then they go get in and like, no, there is no shortcut. This is what happened. This is
Real
what
talk.
really happened.
Surprise.
Yeah, they're gonna see it's super skewed, definitely skewed.
Yeah.
Because last 90 days in sales is 29,000, and last 31 days is 21,000. So what'd you do the last, the first 60
first
days?
60.
We don't want to talk about that.
No, yeah, we don't talk about. Life happens, I chuck it to life.
So that's kind of funny. But yeah, I'm getting listings. I've been listing every day. I don't care if it's 3 listings or 30 listings.
Nice.
Something is happening.
There has to be,
so yeah, trying to keep the algorithms happy, the algies happy. So they know
I think
that
it's
I'm here.
I think that's really true. I'm just joking. I'm
And
just joking.
I think they definitely want to see some activity in there. So
Yeah.
today was a little bit low. I think because like my sale ended.
That'll do it.
So yeah, that'll do it. So I've been sending offers and then still trying to keep some, some eyeballs on the listing. So
All right, quick question. When you guys send offers, do you guys allow counter offers?
Yes.
yes.
I think the default setting is that it allows, and you. Yeah.
on your
and you have
on your
to
phone.
choose
Yeah,
if
on
you
your
don't
phone.
want-
It is. On your desktop it is off both. But do you guys send automatic offers?
No.
I do. I'm like, here's an offer. I
Yep,
would take
and
this
no.
offer any day.
I don't because I want to be the one that wants to trigger it.
Control.
Because crazy enough, every time I do it, I get like $200-$300 in sales. So like I do it every time I feel like, oh man, like we're like it's kind of like late already and we haven't like hit a certain number that we usually do, and I just do it.
So you
and
want
then
it to like
people just
build up. That's funny.
Yeah.
So that's the eBay news right now where we're at on the updates. Just
Yeah.
keep working,
Forging
keep
ahead.
plugging away.
Right.
I mean, get into March. That's all we can
It's
do.
cold anyways, right? It's cold. There's no sports really doing good right now.
Yeah. That's kind of a problem for me, from what I'm selling. But
Oh crap! But dude, you're still moving stuff.
That's
Yeah.
why
Imagine
his
if there
listing
was
count's
more
going up. 'Cause
non-football.
nothing's selling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if there, yeah.
True.
This is good news.
Yeah,
Because
you do need a breather.
because if it's selling that fast,
Yeah,
that was,
because it is like we said that last podcast too. Without football season, I think football is what I have the most of. So only thing that gets a little scary is like off-season moves, and so I'm hoping I don't have too many of those players. I've been trying not to buy those type of players too. But
Yeah, like
you
the-
never know.
like the cocky ones that wants more money. You don't want to buy those. You want to get the the consistent, like they wanna retire as a as a Viking. As a,
Yeah.
like you want
Not to
those
name
kind of
names.
Or even the
but-
retired ones I'll picked up.
like, what might
Exactly.
these be?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just said that because somebody was a Viking fan in Indianapolis, and I'm like, why?
But why?
Why? Why are you here?
Maybe they're from Minnesota.
Maybe they're like purple and yellow. That's what it is. Maybe
Yeah.
they're a Laker fan or something.
Lakers and Vikings. There we go.
Yeah.
There's, the first news. It's minor news, and then we'll go
minor.
into the main topic. So Whatnot started off a little slow for the year. I felt like people were trying to bounce back. Some of the shows, I was like, man, this is like, I had my birthday show. I think that I did hats was like terrible. Like,
Oh.
I had maybe like 100 something people in there, and I'm like, Oh,
Yeah,
it
that's
should be a good
terrible for
Okay.
Glenn. For people, for
Okay,
people,
but I just want to
that's the
say,
goal.
you were the common denominator that day. Maybe that was the gods trying to tell you not to work on your birthday, because also we recorded
Maybe
a
that's
podcast
true.
episode
Yeah,
that
that's what
day,
it
and
was.
That's
didn't.
true.
We didn't get to release it because we had technical difficulties that ruined it. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
I
true.
I felt
That's
so
true.
bad that you
No.
wasted your time on that on your birthday, but we didn't know it. We didn't know
Oh,
that day that it
man.
was messed up until later. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
no more working on
there's
my
the
birthday then.
lesson.
There's,
Yeah.
Anyway.
that's what it was.
I
there
digress.
we go. Makes sense. And so now I was like, oh, you know what? It's getting a little bit better. Just got to keep pushing through it like I normally do. So Tuesday was a really good show. I had like 250 people in there, selling the same show I was on my birthday, snapback hats. And there was a comment in there that I was like, what is this comment? This comment, I don't know who it was. Sorry for your name, but there was a lot going on. This person said, I miss Hustlebee.
Oh.
And I was telling everybody, look, never say never. But I believe he was before his time on Whatnot.
Oh.
Because now I feel like it is totally different on how, like, the sellers that we were going live with, there's a lot of them that aren't even on the
Wow.
app
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they've disappeared completely. I don't even know where they are, what they do. Nothing. Even people that we met in person, going
Yeah.
to sneaker cons and things like that. And so I was like, look, I'll talk to him on the podcast, see what he wants to do. If I have 250 people, I'll rate him every time.
Twist his arm in front of an
Oh,
audience.
wow.
I love
and
this.
if he comes back,
Man.
he's moving volume. He's one of the OGs on here. I don't know if they're ready. So I just told him, look, never say never. We shall see.
Good thing we just talked
No.
about all of his
And
back
so-
stock. I mean,
Yeah. Oh.
Get in there.
What are those backsides
It's
doing
just
sitting
sitting
down
around,
making you
Ken.
money, Ken? Ooh. Why don't we sell the hidden SKUs?
Hidden SKUs.
Nobody's gonna buy them anyway.
And so, well, I don't know. Whatnot is, I don't know. We shall see. But the secondary news that comes with that made, I guess, like minor waves with that. So one of the Goodwills in Ohio, they're doing their second Whatnot
Ooh.
show and looking for more Goodwills
Interesting.
to start going live and selling. And this show is actually a really good show. It's like all high end purses that were donated to Goodwill, and they're going all in with photos
Man.
and everything.
Well, because they have the
Yeah.
infrastructure to do it, right? They have
Yeah.
the people,
they sell.
like
they sell online
they have the
too.
inventory.
Like they, you can go buy.
yeah, right. So like,
Yeah.
they know how to
Yeah, they
list,
already do,
basically,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
wow.
And I think they even do auctions.
To be honest, though,
like on their
yeah,
static.
They do.
Yeah, they do. To be honest, though, because like some Goodwill actually sell by the bale or pallet, right? Something like that. Yeah. To be honest, I would love to be like a Goodwill regional manager or district manager
Right now?
Right now.
You just be
'Cause
killing it on all apps, cross
Yeah,
listing
'cause
everywhere.
imagine if you're the guy, right? Like the Hustlebee has had experience in going live, and then I go work there, and I'll be like convince, who I have to convince, and be like, let me test it out, and then, bro, thrifters would hate me. Well, they won't know it's me.
They already hate you.
Thrifters
okay.
would hate Goodwill. They would they would boycott Goodwill. They would boycott Goodwill, like at least the content creators, because that's pretty much what they do. They just go to Goodwill and sell whatever they get on Goodwill, and then get views off of it and make money on the views. But that would be the fastest way to liquidate at almost zero cost, basically, besides covering your overhead.
Goodwill does
That's
a
it.
lot of social media stuff
They
too.
are the
Like,
perfect model.
I'm kind of impressed that they're doing this. Yeah, that is really interesting.
That is very
Yeah.
futuristic for an old infrastructure like that, right? Because
Goodwill,
That is-
if you
that
want to
is cool.
sponsor this podcast,
That is
I'm a thrifter. Glenn's a former
All for
thrifter. Ken's apparently a wannabe thrifter.
Former.
So we have the whole spectrum.
Yeah, I want to work corporate thrift. I want to work corporate thrift.
Yeah.
Wants to work corporate
Right.
behind the scenes.
No, that dude. That would be the best. Whoever streams that show, imagine if you have zero
Yeah.
skin in the game. You
No,
don't
exactly.
lose money.
It's
You
just
get paid.
donations.
Dude, I'd be like the best showman in that, like, because there were times that I like I love streaming when I was
Yeah.
streaming or whatnot. When I was making money, you know what I'm saying? When you were hitting, you were like, "Oh man, I just like it just gave you so much juice." But when you're like losing, you're just like, "Oh crap!" Like hide that good stuff,
Yeah.
find the terrible, And then some streamers are just blatant. It's like, "Oh, you guys don't deserve this. Where's the trash at?"
Rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start selling pens. I've seen people start selling Sharpie. You guys don't deserve a shoe. They just sell Sharpies. What was that like? There was like one Sharpie that got reran for like 150 times because nobody wants to get it in the mail, and they just sell it again.
Just
And I was
sell it
like,
again.
man.
I
That's
think,
wild.
those people are just like, you guys don't deserve this, chat. Or like, run me up, chat. If I don't get ran up, we're not running anything. We're not
Yeah.
running any heat tonight. So it's like their
They start
fault.
selling stickers.
Yeah, this is your fault, chat. We were supposed to run the heat.
I
but
just
not
think it's
anymore.
hilarious just referring
So-
to chat like as an entity. It just cracks me up.
I know.
Still funny.
Yeah.
Come on, chat.
Come on, chat. Get it, chat. What are we doing, chat?
Yeah, I saw. Oh, the funny thing is, who was it? Maybe it was Anna or somebody. And then somebody asked me, "He's like, who's
Oh,
Chad?"
was not me.
Who's Chad?
No.
It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
Who's Chad?
Somebody asked me, "Say who's
Like,
Chad?"
Chad.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
You gotta
I said
enunciate. That's funny.
Chad. One local shoe store was like posting stuff on their stories, and the the operator of the social media keeps addressing the viewers or like the followers as Chad. Chad, what size do you want? And then somebody said, stop using chat, like we're humans or something like that. And then the person responded and said, well, I actually I had high hopes to be kind of like a popular Twitch streamer. So I guess it came from Twitch. Is that true, Glenn?
I would probably say so.
Or like even like
Yeah,
YouTube
I
Live,
feel like
right?
it's
Like
definitely a
chat.
streamer
Yeah,
The
like,
chat.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very a streamer. Like, and it's like, and then you have whatnot. That's just, it's so like, it is so unique.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's the next. I don't believe it's the next shopping.
Big thing.
It
No.
is gonna be a thing. It is gonna be big, but it's not gonna replace
All the other
what's already going on.
avenues.
Yeah, it's like you're telling me, it's like, like maybe like once TV came and newspaper was being told like, oh, TV's the next thing. It took a long time, and it's still newspaper
Yeah.
still goes right now, right? Even like TV or like news stations, right? Oh, like no, like you guys are done. Internet is it? YouTube is it? Like, yeah, YouTube is big, but it didn't really replace TV. I think it just creates its own pocket that expands itself for like, kind of like for me. Like, I don't watch TV. I've never did besides cartoons. And then I just never stuck with TV. And I didn't grow up, watching the grown-up shows on TV. I just went to like, okay, I gravitated more to YouTube. So I think that's kind of like what's going to happen. Like the people that are not in-person shoppers, but maybe they're like Amazon shoppers, if they've bought something on Instagram, it would be easier and a cooler transition for them to just buy and whatnot. So that's my take.
So this means you're not coming back to sell anything.
Oh,
then.
no. I would say I've told people this because they've asked me, they've DM'd me, and I said the current inventory that I have is not for whatnot.
Got it. for other platforms.
that I have discovered. You know what I'm saying? Because there might be some trash bags there that are perfect for whatnot.
They're
Trash bags.
scented trash bags.
Oh.
No, I'm saying it's trash bag because I have to put them on. Well, it's not trash bag. It's called construction grade
Contractor bags.
bags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Contractor bags,
I mean,
right? That's what
they're
they
nice
are.
for
Glenn,
trash
you should
bags.
see them.
Well, Ken,
I'll show. Yeah, the
what if
contractor.
you did like, okay, your goal is to sell through everything in what period of time? After, if something's been listed for 6 months, would you transition it to whatnot?
Oh, no. I've said this before that whatnot would be the kind of like the liquidation or
Yeah.
how you would clearance stuff. That would be a good strategy.
Yeah, I think it would too. I mean, down the road, like as the year goes on, maybe some things have been sitting. I mean, if it's not selling when it's like during like the time that that item should be hot,
Yeah.
you know, then it's kind of like, well,
And then
what do I want to do with this item?
and oh, you know how I would run it? I would run it like you know how like the bins, like the $5 bins or pick a bin or something like that. You know those things are like or Amazon returns or whatever pallets they are. You know how like the first day it's at 15, and then the second day it goes 10, and the third day it goes 5, and then $2. That would be cool. That you would run it like you would set up a show, monthly show, you know, and you only run it on like the first of the month. March 1st be like everything starts at $25,
Yeah,
and then March 2nd everything starts at 20, and then you
Rerunning
just keep running like.
that'd be
Yeah,
dope.
you just kind of like carousel. It's like if it doesn't sell, it'll sell tomorrow at
Yeah.
20. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
because that is how you get the most money out of your product.
that is true. I like that
Oh
idea.
man,
Oh, no.
I like that
Yeah,
idea.
now that you gave me that
wheels
idea.
are spinning.
I might have to do that later on
You
during
have
the
to.
year.
You have to.
Yeah, that
Okay.
might be smart.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to clear my.
I kind
streaming
of
room.
missed my segue, but I want to shout out to one of our friends really quick who opened a thrift store this year. You know who I'm talking about? Our friend Gerron Moore.
Oh yeah, Gerron.
Hi, Gerron.
Gerron.
We
yeah,
love you.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
crazy.
in Texas also.
Yeah, he
he's in
did,
Lubbock.
yeah.
Nice.
But he's had an
Yeah,
eBay store.
Lubbock, yeah.
Nice,
He's
nice
so
guy.
nice. He is just the most
Yeah,
lovable.
super nice.
But he is so cool, and he has had an eBay store for a long time called Big Dreams Reselling. So his thrift store is called Big Dreams Thrift. And it's like, they get all kinds of donations and stuff, but he's been going on eBay Live a bunch selling clothing. And it's so fun to see that thrift store model, in a live selling environment. And Gerron
Yeah,
is amazing,
being
and
yeah.
it's so fun to go say hey to him. I'm
No,
the Chad
yeah.
in that. I'm like, hey Gerron. It's like, oh hey, Anna, what's up?
Yeah.
But it's great. You should, and he
Yeah.
starts everything super low. So if you're interested in clothing at all, you should totally check out Big Dreams Thrift. He is
That is
crushing it.
that is a good strategy. That
Nice.
we have to we have to test it, Glenn. Glenn, you have to test it if it works.
Okay, yeah, I definitely gotta test it.
You know,
let me try this eBay stuff. That if it sits for a while on the
No, you have yeah.
I have to try
things
this
will
out.
sit, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like you can give it like, especially a brand new with tag item, you can at least give it like max 9 months. I think so.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Unless it's like a really high end piece. If it's just a regular item, right? Like for some reason they just made too many size 10 in this, Air Max 90. Cuz that happens,
It's just
like
too saturated.
like there are times that I could that one size is just bad.
Yeah.
But if you're running a whatnot, you probably could make $10-15 and not $30-40, but maybe you'll make $20 the first day. The second day it goes down. But I think that I haven't. Do you start at $1 still, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If I come back, I would start at break even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for older stuff, of course.
For
Not-
older stuff.
not
Yeah,
just
for older
'cause.
stuff.
Yeah, we're not out here
for
just
old-
to break even or to lose
Oh
money.
yeah,
Because then,
yeah.
no.
Because even at like I would still like we have this strategy like if I'd sit for 10 months, me and JC kind of like, hey, let's just make $15, kind of like just to cover the listing time, right?
And recoup your
And
space.
a lot of times they yeah, recoup my space. Because like if I have a better $50 profit item, like get that crap out of here.
Glenn,
I'll
I
take
think
the
you
10
need to
and
do
15.
some more recon in your chat and get people to like figure out what it's going to take to bring Hustlebee back. See what?
We'll start tagging
Yeah.
him. We'll start tagging him on
Yeah.
Friday and just start
Glenn, you
get his
know what
ass
to do?
in here.
We should just do we should just schedule a seller club and whatnot, and then we just all jump in there.
I'll just like
and just,
run around in the
get a general
background, like
consensus
because I
of
don't know what I'm
everybody.
doing.
Okay.
Actually, I did help with
I don't know
one
how to do it.
whatnot in front of a
Yeah.
live audience in Vegas one time.
Yeah, and it wasn't
there
just
you
a
go.
regular whatnot. It was like a $12,000 show.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
and it was a
I
part
was
of.
just
So
like,
that was a huge show.
grunt worker, moving items around the floor, but it was fun.
No, but for some people that have to run so much and so like there's people that do 1,000 quantity a day before lunchtime and like
You're like, I need some lunch. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I mean it is definitely doable. Again, like when you're buying it at a really low buy cost at a liquidation price, I think it is the
Yeah.
platform. It is the platform.
So before we switch, let's talk about that Goodwill thing one more time. I know people
Mm-hmm.
in the comments are just kind of like, well, like, game over for the thrifters, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
overreactions,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
The thing is that Goodwill already does auctions. They already sell on eBay. Selling on a whatnot, just adding in another platform to them.
Yeah.
It's not every Goodwill in the U.S. or anything like that. This was just like
Yeah.
a
Not
like
yet.
a certain one. Yeah, not yet. A certain one in Ohio.
Yeah.
But when you really think about it, it's because a lot of people, of course, when they don't change or they don't adapt,
Mm-hmm.
things just continue on, and of course, it's everybody else's fault, right? Like,
Right.
it never used to be like this, never used to be like
Yeah,
that,
it's,
and
it's Goodwill's fault for trying to
Yeah.
adapt. But it's not
Honestly,
mine.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not upset about it at all as a thrifter, but I think I have a tiny clue about how much waste there is and like how much stuff just
Yeah.
ends up getting thrown away and like ends up in the landfill.
Yeah, because if it doesn't
Yeah,
sell,
like
right? If it doesn't
Goodwill,
sell.
even as monstrous as that is, as like an organization and so many locations, so overwhelming amount of donations, right? At all, I don't even know the stats on it, but it is
Yeah.
kind of unfathomable how much stuff they get, and it's way too much for them too. So it's like if this actually, puts more of it in the hands of people who want it or can use it. Like they need to expedite that. They're already like just swamped with donations like all the time. So I don't really have a problem with it. There's so much that there's plenty for everyone. Like that is way true in the thrifting world, I think.
And one of the things that changed a lot was like the swap meet stuff. How I went maybe like 2 months
Yeah.
ago when I was talking to, shout out to Brian who watched our our live shows and in our selling things for a while. But he was saying that he went recently too, and of course like cost per space has went up. When I used to go, it used to be like $25. You could park there and then get everything unloaded, and now I think it jumped to like $45 or $55 like per space. So there's a lot less sellers. But then when you really think about how like Whatnot and other apps have changed, it's like I could do an estate sale type of thing or a storage unit type of sale to where I just open it up and hey, this little bundle right here started at $1 and let's sell it. Or I can wake up super early, take
Schlep it all
everything
to the swap meet.
meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it all out.
Yeah,
set
spend
it
your whole
all
day.
up, and at the
Fingers
very
crossed,
end,
people shop.
yeah, exactly. So people, I think, are also kind of like, hey, what's going to be worth my time or not? If this is a platform I can utilize, maybe you will see less of the swap meet stuff out there, or Goodwill selling more of their own inventory instead of processing it, going out to the floors, and spending the time doing that. So I don't know. We shall see. But definitely things continue to change. So, but eBay has been real and been 100%. As long as you keep listing, the sales will keep coming in. So that we
Yeah.
do know, which is good. Now the second one is this one.
Major. He
I was
said
like,
major.
wait, I
This
thought
was-
we already
it was a
did
minor
too.
Well,
earlier.
Apparently not.
It was major in like how much activity
Ooh.
was going on with it, and how much maybe people don't realize selling on other platforms or not. So Rockstar Flipper, who you guys have met before as well, he did a video on YouTube and on IG and I believe TikTok as well, showing there was like a woman that, well, the little backstory. I wish I had her name or her handle at least to like do a shout out, but so she had created a TikTok explaining how Amazon works and how she felt like, people were stealing from her, for example, because so what she did
As
was
a seller, like as a
Yes,
seller. Right.
so what she did was she created this kind of like a stroller type of like cover, kind of like that. Something
Oh, like a
that.
private label. She created
Private
a private
label.
label. Yeah.
Yeah, private label. So she created this cover, got someone to manufacture it, everything, her own brand, so sold it on Amazon. And so the returns that she gets was
Oh,
out of
man.
control. And so she had learned how to sell from, I guess, like a a seller couple or something. So she paid for a course and not really, I guess she kind of said they didn't really explain how the returns part works and everything like that. And so I forgot how many thousands of dollars that she had said she was out from because of the returns on Amazon. And so she's getting, her items sent back. And of course, what comes with that are used,
Yep.
Yeah.
torn, messed up items that one of them even had their like travel tag on there.
Oh, the tag. So
Yeah.
they
She's
travel
like,
with it
yeah.
and then just
Oh my
return it
God.
Yeah,
after.
she's like, "Ah, thanks, so and so for using
And
this
then
on your
returning it.
vacation, and then sending it back."
That stinks.
And so the thing she was explaining was that there's a lot of independent sellers, small sellers, family sellers on Amazon that most consumers don't
Right.
know that
Yeah.
it's, a small business. So they feel like Amazon's a huge corporation, billions of
Yeah.
dollars. If I return something, it just goes to Bezos,
Yeah.
This doesn't really,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
I
not,
used
you're
it.
not hurting,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
I don't need this anymore.
And it's like
I'll
not
return
gonna
it.
hurt anybody
and
really
so-
because yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's harmless. And so she was saying that, you people are stealing type of thing. And here's the thing that was like with eBay, doing returns, open up a return case, all of that. You're expected to get that item in the same condition
Right.
as sent out. So that's a big difference.
Yeah, you
there
have
already.
recourse if they send
With
it
the
back
Amazon
used.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I remember selling on Amazon, man. I mean, I haven't been on Amazon for a while now, but years and years ago when I did, the returns didn't seem that bad, but I did notice that certain items were just getting ridiculous. Like shoes especially, a lot of clothing items, and it's not like they would try it on and it didn't fit. These were straight up used, or I was just getting like completely different items. I think a lot of the Christmas toys that I sent out didn't really get returned back too much unless it was something that battery operated that didn't work or something
Yeah.
like that. But for the most part, they were pretty good. But the shoes, clothing, it was just getting
Yeah,
like
people are
out
just
of
like
hand. I was like,
basically
"There's no
renting
way."
it and then turning it back in worse condition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the sad part too, because now you don't really know what to do. You really resell it?
As
You
used,
could as
yeah.
used, but you're still losing money in the long term because you're paying for, return shipping and all of this, the cost that you spend on the item. And she was just showing kind of like a whole stack of these things, just, multiples of them. And the comments are kind of funny because from the reseller part, people that were resellers were like, "That's why I do no returns." And they're like, "But this isn't eBay. Like
Yeah.
this is Amazon.
Right,
There
you
are
don't really get
returns.
to
You
decide,
can't
yeah.
do no returns." And there was so many other comments like that. Well, why'd you accept the return? And there was another comments like, why would you why would you let people use it and return it to you? Like, it's your fault as the seller.
Like, you shouldn't allow that.
And I was like, man, people are so out of touch on
How
other
things work.
platforms. Yeah, exactly. And I was kind of like, she doesn't have any control over that, right? Like, that's kind of a weird.
That is hard though.
there.
Like,
So what is your
I was
take?
just thinking, like, I could see where, I don't necessarily feel this way myself, but I could see where, somebody, an eBay seller, for example, could be like, well, that's the cost of doing business with a platform where people expect to buy a private label item. Like, I don't know if it's as common to go looking for something someone invented and private labeled on eBay, Like, they're looking for, like, known brands or used stuff or vintage stuff or whatever. So, but it's like, it feels like not right to me that you don't have any recourse with Amazon. Like, that would make me not want to sell on that platform. Right. Just because at some point, you're doing all this work and it's diminishing returns if you're getting so much stuff back that's not usable, and you're just having to, like, it's just a loss at that point, right? So, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's her fault at all, but I do think I would be curious to know, like, if you were authorized to sell through, like, Walmart.com or, like, Target, like, any place that has a third-party marketplace like that. Maybe there's some other bigger platform third-party marketplaces besides Amazon where they have better protections, but that's still the type of place where people generally buy only new items that are, a lot of which are private labeled if you're one of those third-party sellers. But, yeah, it seems like it really sucks for her. Like, I don't know what I would recommend for her to do differently, I would be just as frustrated if I were in her shoes.
Yeah, and other people were I guess from the buyer side, people were like, well, why'd you make such a crappy product then that they had to return it?
Completely presuming the intentions of the person returning it. Like, no, they conveniently wanted this for their vacation, and then they wanted their money back. They wanted to rent it, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no need for it anymore. They paid their money, get it back, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I did order, this was like 2 months ago. There's like this vegan snack thing that I like. I totally forgot it was gone. But I only like the ranch flavored one. And so I ordered the ranch flavored one. 3-pack. Comes in, package, Amazon Prime shipping, same day, very nice. Right. Open up the package, and it's a variety pack. How dare they? So there's like sriracha.
Did you eat the ranch and return the?
Ranch isn't even part of it. So I was like, oh man. So it's like not even one ranch.
That's not the product you ordered.
I was like, okay. It isn't, clearly not. So there's only 2 listings on there of this variety pack and ranch. Ranch gets its own 3-pack. That's the one we wanted. So didn't happen. So I had to contact them. Hey, this is a wrong order. Things like that. They're like, oh, okay, we can refund you and you can order the 3-pack again. So, all right, they refunded me.
I know where this is going.
And then, the next day I ordered it again. Comes in, variety pack.
Bro.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now.
So it's the wrong listing. Somebody listed it.
Or someone's grabbing the wrong item and assuming that it's the right one, and it's the same, and it's not. And so I guess because they're bundled in a clear plastic or something of 3. So I contact them and I'm like, hey, wrong order again. And then so this person put on there, I guess like the person that responded to me, like, okay, we'll do this for a one-time thing. We saw that you did this before. Like, this is non-returnable item because it's a food item. Well, then
send me the right thing.
So, I know,
all
exactly.
I want
That's
is
what
the
I was
thing
like,
I ordered.
on. So,
thank you very much.
Refunded it. The next day, I was like, okay, should I try this again or not? I waited 2 days, ordered it.
Oh,
what do you think happened?
Same thing?
Same thing. So, I just stopped ordering it. They refunded me again.
You said
and that was it. So I'm like,
okay, Glenn. So if our listeners want to send this snack to you, what is it? Tell us what it's called. It's
Where's
the
my
ranch
orders?
one. Only
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
the
your
ranch one.
refunds.
while you're
Look at your
while
refunds.
you're
Yeah, look at my
looking-
refunds.
Dude,
on
at least
here.
they didn't. At least they didn't they didn't accuse you of
That's what I thought
Yeah.
they were actually gonna do. You know, like that I was just lying to them or trying to get free snacks
Yeah.
or things like that.
Yeah.
But
snacks.
I had a what is it?
Okay.
I was
here it
like,
is.
but I would be like, but I opened all of
I
them
even
already.
tasted
and
them
they're
to
not
make sure
ranch.
that they match the packaging, and they do. It's not ranch.
Exactly. So there's different flavors.
Oh,
In here.
Oh,
okay.
edamame beans. Oh yeah, I have them.
There's sea salt. There's
Didn't I tell you about them?
I don't know. Maybe you did.
Yeah,
Maybe you did. But I
eat.
love those.
I
things.
eat the buffalo.
Guys.
The
Buffalo wings.
buffalo.
You don't like them? You don't like the
I'm not
buffalo?
a fan of the buffalo one or the sriracha one. They're okay, but I like the sea salt.
You're
and I like
you're
the
a
ranch.
secret
Those are
Midwesterner.
my
right?
go-tos.
I haven't had the
Just
ranch.
like give me
Yeah.
all the ranch.
I know.
Right.
It's true.
To be honest, I don't even think they make the ranch. That has to be like some limited
No.
Texas edition. or
Texas
something.
We need guys. Why don't we have an Amazon storefront though, where we put all our favorite snacks and stuff? We should do that. We should totally do that.
Oh, okay.
We should.
do
I
that.
have
Okay,
one.
we'll just
put it on
convert
mine so I
yours
could get
to
the-
ours.
the-
And
Yeah.
you can get all of the 5 cents every time someone orders something.
yeah, yeah.
Midwesterner.
Yeah. It's the ranch.
got that.
It's the ranch.
It's the ranch. And on Whatnot too, I got some weird comments. Some guy was like, "What ethnicity are you?" And I was like,
Ranch.
"Well, I'm Hispanic, but yeah, ranch."
Ranch.
They're
Half
like,
French, half Hispanic.
"Then how come your name is Glenn?" And I'm like,
Okay.
"Okay." And then people were just kind of like laughing emojis and stuff like that. And then some guy's like, "You sound like you're from the middle of Ohio."
Maybe that's why people can't tell you guys apart, because Ken actually is in Ohio.
I was like,
Yeah,
Kenny's
it's like,
in
you mean
Ohio.
that's skin.
However,
Yeah.
Ken, I don't
Kenny
think
is
you
in
sound like
Ohio.
you're from Ohio.
Yeah, no.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
Ohio.
Hey guys, to be honest, where do I sound like?
I don't know.
We'll let you know. We'll hear it
Yeah.
from the comments.
Right. Let the
The Philippines.
come on,
The
chat.
I
Philippines.
sound
Chat.
Filipino.
sound like he's from.
Hey, chat,
Do
where
I,
am I from?
I sound Filipino.
I guess.
Tell the chat.
Yeah.
We'll see what they say.
Oh my gosh.
And so there was another Whatnot seller from the Philippines I was watching today, and he's like, "Come on, guys, this has got to get." What did he say? This price has to go up. My wife's gonna kill me if it doesn't.
Real talk.
That's man. At least that guy's honest.
Yeah,
though.
he's being honest.
I like you guys don't understand how much convincing I've had to do to just
Just stream on here
Yeah.
and take time away from my family. So please
Yeah.
let it be worth it. So that was pretty funny. But speaking of being honest, away from the Amazon people, what were our thoughts on that? We didn't get your final response for Ken and Anna on selling private label, or maybe just on different platforms, and that shouldn't scare you from selling anywhere.
I would say big round of applause for somebody being that
Entrepreneurial.
yeah, entrepreneurial, but also at the same time being so naive that
Like they
those
get a
things
round of
won't
applause
happen.
for that.
At least they were
because
being honest
sometimes-
with
Yeah.
everybody that this is
yeah,
what their
'cause
story
sometimes
was. But
sometimes being naive actually gives you way more courage than somebody that has known a
Blissful
lot.
ignorance. Yeah.
And I feel like right, like, but also too, being that, blissful ignorant person, you actually end up learning a lot more lesson than somebody that knows that was gonna happen but end
Yeah.
up not doing it, right? Because part of that, right, like that person probably realized, like, okay, this is a product that was easily copyable. Somebody probably just copied it and undercut her or something like that, or somebody that knows marketing better that sold this as a through social media and bypass Amazon and all that other things that you could do, but also she found a way to find a manufacturer. Like, that's a big lesson that that not everybody could say that, oh, I've been able to manufacture something. So I think that's a really good trait of your first years of entrepreneurial journey, which I think she's learned a lot out of that, and her next product is gonna be way better, and her next process is gonna be way better, whether she's gonna be
Yeah.
an Amazon seller
Right.
still or not.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that one. But
Okay.
yeah, but no, it's as my dad has always told me, when I tried something that didn't work, my dad always told me, charge it to experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I would say, charge it to experience and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit discouraging in a way to me, because I've always wanted to like invent something. Like someday I'm going to invent something, right? And then of course, if it's like a product that people use, you'd have to get it manufactured and do that whole thing,
Right.
private label it. I mean, that's one route at least, but it is like kind of, on one hand, it's like a bummer to hear from a seller's perspective, an empathetic seller's perspective. It's a bummer to hear that she
Right.
just kind of like has to just eat it, right? Just like deal with this problem. And I could see where it'd be really frustrating. On the other side of that coin, I'm really grateful that on the platform where I sell all of my stuff, that's not a problem really, because we do have recourse if buyers just return something. We also have the option of doing no returns, right? So that's like barely, I mean, returns are like barely a thing on my radar as a seller. Like it almost never happens. When it does, it's like usually not a big deal. Like, so anyway, I'm just grateful that that's not really something that I have to deal with in my own setup. But also, it's a good reminder for all of my fellow resellers out there, that the questions that you ask reveal your ignorance. So if you're going to ask a question like
True.
out of curiosity because you want to learn, great. If you're going to ask a question to just imply judgment on someone when you don't understand their situation, and actually by asking that question, you might kind of look like an idiot. Like, how can you not know that this is not how it works on this platform, right? So it's just a good reminder that, like, it, kind of reflect a little bit, and before you just drop something in the comments, think about, why do I want to ask this question? Is this a productive question to ask, or am I just like being a troll? So that's my take on that.
True. All right. I think that was a
I know,
quick
right?
show. Well, it felt quick. I don't know. It was already almost
know.
like an
No,
hour
we,
in,
we,
but
we talked a lot. We talked
So much
Okay.
about a
yapping.
lot of things.
Yeah.
But like, I think the whole kind of like tone or flavor of this show is, there's a lot of ways that we can make money online, and I think that we shouldn't just be easily swayed just because of all the success of all this YouTubers and social media people, because a lot of times that's where we get our informations from nowadays. Somebody goes viral and it's just like, oh man, like how those people that go to Marshalls, like, I stole $10,000 worth of inventory from Marshalls. I'm like, what the heck, or like, Marshalls just paid my rent. I'm like, what? Like, those are, those people are like very successful social media in a way, so much followers, but like, I feel like now it's becoming a little bit more mainstream, that a lot more people understand that there are online sellers now. I wish there was a better way to find good advice. Well, there is. There is the Selling Club podcast, and there are
Classic
other
self-plug.
like legit
Yeah,
people.
it's
Right,
true.
there are legit people that you can follow that actually run a business. That's kind of my challenge for everybody. If you're trying to look for advice for somebody, figure out if they're a doer or they're just a
Right.
a marketer, right? Because I think those are the
Somebody
two
who's doing
things
what you
now.
want to do is going to have different priorities about
Yeah.
what to teach you than somebody who's
Yeah,
just talking
whether they
about
have
what
a
you wanna do.
successful, yeah, exactly. Because a lot of times they're just talking about it because they're trying to figure out their way, their thing too. So I think that's kind of just like like things that I came up with, to give a piece of advice for everybody that's doing this. And again, be involved in the community, because if you're involved in the community, that's where you can really weed out people. It's like, oh man, this guy messes with that guy, and that guy messes with this guy. They're homies. They work together. It's like, oh, if this guy's legit, this guy's definitely not hanging out with that shady one, right? So I think that is so important. That's the human factor and the aspect of community, which takes us to a segue of an announcement that you could find your community that we are involved in. And Anna,
Wow, what a glorious segue that was, Ken. Well,
hey,
I'd have to say, as far as community goes, I finally went to my first seller meetup with fellow sellers here in Central Illinois, and it was so great. And I wish I had been able to go sooner. So I just want to encourage everybody to look into that. If you're an eBay seller, especially, eBay has a whole page of all the meetups and all the different areas. So go check it out and show up in person, in the flesh. Like, you will not regret it. But the thing we're actually segueing to talk about right now is a virtual event. So no matter where you are, you can go. But basically, it's eBay's Spring Seller Check-In. It is right around the corner. It's happening on Friday, March 7th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So, Glenn, what time is that for you?
Oh, man.
And then for me,
Mountain
it's
Standard?
2 p.m. Central. And
yeah,
so there, now I have all the time zones. Okay.
There you go.
But yeah, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then those little ones in between where me and Glenn are. But they're going to be covering a bunch of topics. This is such a great opportunity. We always go to these. I go to every single one because it's free. It's a virtual event. You're hearing firsthand from eBay teams, people who work for eBay, who work on stuff at eBay. A bunch of different people from all throughout the company are going to be talking about new products and giving updates. People are there to specifically answer your questions. During the live Q&A, there's a chat. There's a whole section of the chat where you can just ask a question and someone from eBay can answer you. So it's really, really helpful if you're having like a specific issue or you have a general question about something. It is great to learn things from your community, and there's a bunch of other sellers there. A lot of times people are really communicating a lot in the chat with each other too, and you can, talk to other sellers. But if you want to hear something direct from the horse's mouth, this is a great chance to do that. So that is kind of like what happens there in this particular check-in. They're going to be covering some specific topics. And so one of them has to do with improving your listing flow. They're also going to be talking about eBay's new Facebook Marketplace integration. I'm really interested to hear more about that.
That's pretty cool.
And there's a lot of news in fashion related stuff, and then also AI improvements that they're going to be talking about. So if any of those topics interest you, there's going to be specific content about that stuff. And I'm just really excited. I'm interested actually in all of those things, and I'm excited to hear like an update. It's really the first one of this year, right? The first check-in?
Yeah.
No, we had
No.
I think it's the first.
so.
Yeah, I think the last one
Yeah, I
was
think
just
it is.
Q4 probably.
Yeah, it is. Though it was the winner seller.
So anyway, I will totally be there. I'm not going to speak for you guys, but I know that I will. So I'll see you guys there if you're coming as well. But it's just a great opportunity to find some community, to get answers to your questions, and also just learn. Keep on growing, keep on learning, stay fresh, right? If you don't want your business to be stagnant, you can't be stagnant either. And that's really the main, I would say, the top reason why I always show up to these. So please come.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can and you will.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's right. I definitely
can
and
and you
definitely
will.
Well, and also we are up and coming closer and getting closer to paying our taxes.
No, Kenny.
And we'd like to give a shout out for our sponsor, Seller Ledger, the tool that keeps me relaxed
Sane.
on the day of tax season, because I used to do my taxes 2 days before, and now I'm pretty much ready to roll. So thank you guys for listening. All the links are going to be in the show notes and in our bio. Follow us, Seller Club Podcast on Instagram, Seller Ledger on Instagram, and eBay for sellers. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you in the next one. Peace.
See ya.
Goodbye.